Welcome, Radiant Community. It says a lot about you showing up to Wellness Reconnect. I am Karen Felice, and I'm a Reiki Master Teacher and an intuitive healer, and I'm sharing wisdom and guidance for you on specific titles and topics that may help you reset and get out of the way of yourself. I love being here with you, for you. I appreciate all the messages of what it is you want to talk about and work through. So today we are going to talk about de-weaponizing silence. All right, what does that mean? That means when others give you a silent treatment, how do you feel? And it's also, how do you feel if you are implementing silence? Is it a weapon? Is it intentional to disconnect and hurt someone? So that's where I'm helping you shift out of the pain with that technique, okay? I definitely had that in my life growing up with someone in my family who would be upset and do this intentionally, and I never even energetically understood it. So flash forward years later, even with all the healing work I do, I looked at when I wasn't receiving texts from loved ones, or then I got into this panic of, am I being ghosted or of whatever, I looked at the root. What is the root of the discomfort? And it came back to a childhood experience with silence that did not feel well. So I looked at it to send healing energies backwards in time, present, and future, which is something I can do with Reiki. And Reiki, it's not changing the past, it's allowing a new perspective. So in a new perspective, it's not about even quantifying or judging the person where they were at that emotional well-being, where they were at that time in their life, or where I was, or how I triggered that response, the give and take of that response. So I sent healing backwards in time to the person and said, I only love you for everything you had the skill to do, for your level of consciousness at that time. And I said the same towards me. I send healing for exactly where you are at this time and the level of consciousness you had at this time. And with sitting with the word, then I started meditating on the word silence or silent. I saw that it's only a word. It's almost as if taking an eraser and one letter at a time, erasing the S, erasing the I, and until all the letters are gone, or seeing them, they had been drawn in sand, and you simply blow the sand away. And so the word does not have a hold or even a presence. And I'm not telling you to be in denial. I'm helping you, because this is what helped me as well, have a new approach and a new freedom with silence. That silence doesn't, and this was the message that came through all of this experience, it does not have to be a weapon. And taking out the pain that usually weapons or they defend, yes. So taking out that level of exhaustion or pain, taking that component out of the experience, shifted a freedom to look at silence in a whole new way. Silence is special in many spiritual groups and spiritual retreats that are done in silence. I did one with my first meditation teacher, Dr. Deepak Chopra, in 2007. We had one day, his advanced students did all 4 days in silence. Us newbies uh, did it for one day. And at the retreat center where we were, we wore signs, like if we went into a public, at the hotel, like the gift shop to buy food or something, and we were wearing a sign that said, I'm in silence, or I'm in a silent retreat, whatever. I don't even remember what the sign said, around the neck. And what I was amazed, and I mean, I did. And of course, I was aware of how much we use in our day of with communication, whether it's even texting. And I did at that time. I was texting my child, and but I wasn't speaking. And I still was aware that, wow, I'm using communication. I'm using language. Even then, I became aware of my thoughts. Oh, I'm thinking about these dialogues. It's how do I even quiet that? So it was a beautiful awareness of how we can have a more amenable relationship with silence, instead of it being disarming or disruptive, or creating it's ineffectual, and you can't express how you're feeling. Like there's no capabilities if you don't have words. So it really is a fun exploration of looking at all these areas of silence. Silence can be very calming for people, or silence can be really, really anxiety ridden for people. And it's important to look at, for you, what is the trigger? Is silence a break from stimulus? Or is silence a weapon? Is it being used to intentionally hurt me? Or I'm intentionally not replying to that person because I can't. So it's also even looking deeper at giving yourself freedom of, I know people use that term bandwidth, that you don't have the bandwidth to reply. But look at the importance. Is it important for me to reply right now? Does this take away from what I'm doing? Am I replying from my highest being, from my highest heart? And that will really give you a way to respond in a different way. If you are aware that you are even using the silence, like, yeah, this person does it to me, so I want to do it to them, kind of a tug of war. Even recently, when I was discussing tug of war with someone, I said, if there is a tug of war going on, I'm not even lifting the rope. So I was very clear that I'm not joining this lower frequency of a game. And it was also reclaiming power for me to say, no, I'm not doing that. So in healing any past trauma with silence, I was free. And I hope you can be free too, to de-weaponize that word silence. And the freedom is, oh, you get to choose to respond. You get to choose to sit in silence. And you have a safety in the boundaries of responding or not responding. And it's really powerful. And so after I de-weaponized silence, I changed, I was hanging on to the W from weapon, and I changed that into word. So silence is no longer a weapon. Silence is a word. And that's liberating. So there can be accuracy with it, there can be love with it, there can be boundaries, there can be nourishment, and you can rise above that and have a whole new relationship word. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your comments. I do read them and I love to respond. Click like, click subscribe, and send this video to anyone you think will benefit. And even if I don't hear from you, I will understand your silence. I will see you another time. I'm sending a big digital hug from me to you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.